What did you just find, you guys?
A duckling.
Oh, there he is.
A she or he?
Oh, it's a little yellow one. Oh my goodness.
Like the ducks. See the ducks. Look at it,
It's trying to get back under there, eh?
the ducks have company.
Bit of privacy for the dog.
Yeah.
I'll go get our dog and come back.
Born. I was just born.
This is one of those days when we love our lives. The girls are painting, Tim's doing his farm day, we're about to head down to the river for a big swim, and it's just a wicked day. I've got about 4 more plants to get in the ground, or 5. Some native fuchsias and a bit more colour. So you guys both join the farm?
Yes. We're gonna work our pictures together, eh? And do the pictures together. And Mona, we're both doing the same thing. Meandering the road and cutting hockey and other stuff.
Are you having a good day? Yeah, the sun is shining. So nice. Are you gonna come swimming later? Yeah? I grounded my bird. Looks really good now, I reckon. Just need to leave it for 2 weeks and then I can put it in the ground as a paving stone. Pretty stoked with it. The whole farm fills with these beautiful wildflowers. There's just like colour everywhere you look. And the honeysuckle starts to bloom, which is totally an invasive pest and we hate it. But it fills everywhere with the most sweet, most lovely smell. And everywhere you walk it just smells delicious. You can see these tiny little berries on here. This is a cranberry tree. Pretty cool, eh? One big raspberry growing. And one big flower on the other side. Look at that huge flower. So we might maybe get 2 big raspberries out of this bush. Alright, sorry, what's that?
We saw an egg somewhere here and then we made a nest for it. We think about making a nest for it.
Oh yeah, I see it in there.
One.
So you think it might hatch into a duckling?
Two.
Just gotta walk past these cute little ones. Under the electric fence. You make it under? clear the water is. Zoe's already in.
I'm putting mine up there. It's too cold. Oh my God.
Yeah, so one of those days where we're pinching ourselves, like, how do we get to live in this place? Honestly, sometimes we look out at the mountain and we're just like, how? How is it even possible? And then, okay, this is where we get really honest. Then there are days when we look at each other and we think, why are we doing this? So we love living in a yurt because honestly it's probably the thing that has made this whole life possible for us. We would never have been able to afford this land and like a proper house. So the fact that we live in a yurt has made this whole lifestyle, the fact that we can just unschool our kids, be with our kids, swim in the river, have animals, actually financially viable for us. So we wouldn't exchange it for anything, but I do want to tell you like the worst part about living in a yurt. So this isn't the worst thing, but it is a real thing that somebody was asking about. And that is, does the yurt get mold? And the truth is, it can get wet and moldy in little corners of the yurt. It wasn't a problem last year when we had really good wood and our fire was quite new and it was burning all really well. But this year, our wood wasn't quite as dry as it could have been. And our fire was a bit bunged up. We hadn't given it a really good clean up in the chimney sweeps. They're really important, but don't ever employ a child to sweep your chimney, okay? Just do it yourself, okay? It's a rule to live by. Yeah, so if you've got really good wood and a really good burner, there's no reason that your yurt should get wet and moldy. But this year, this winter, we did notice in a few corners where we had kind of like stacked a whole basket of clothes, who does that, up against the side, it had got pretty dank and even a bit smelly with the old mold. So we've had to do a really good clean out in little corners of the yurt. And then of course we've met people that have never had this problem because they're better than us. Because they're organised with their wood and they sweep out their chimney. We're gonna do that. In fact, Tim, it's November and Tim is already cutting and stacking our wood for the winter because you got to do it. That's the thing, you have to be really prepared, like Boy Scouts, if you're going to live this kind of life. And that is when the weather gets really gnarly and there is mud everywhere. Your house, the yurt gets covered in mud. You can't walk out around the farm without feeling like you're sinking in mud. Sometimes at once I actually did sink up to my thighs in mud. Part of the reason we love a yurt is that you're so exposed to the elements and you know exactly what's going on, but it does almost kind of intensify it, I reckon. So this is the bit that we wish we had been told about yurt living by other people living in yurts, and that is that when it is windy and rainy, you actually can't function as normal in your yurt. So if we were, say, having a dinner party or something like a meeting where you needed to hear each other and it started to rain, you would have to stop the meeting and send people home in mime, like, because you can't hear each other speak. The rain is that loud on the roof. Serious. So it's not often, but it's probably like, I'd say once a month it gets to a point where the weather is so intense inside the yurt that it feels like you might be going mad. Like the other day the kids and Tim were away and I was finishing my book and I was writing about like this really deep kind of heavy spiritual stuff, and the rain came and it was like going crazy on the roof, and Zoe started whining like and I'm like I was like a little bit freaking out, like the gods kind of thing. It's real, the noise on the roof and like the wind flapping the yurt and everything. So most of the time it's like this peaceful experience. You're like, oh, the weather, I'm so in touch with the weather. And other times you're like, yeah. So that is the thing we wish we'd been told. It's probably the worst bit about living in a yurt, I reckon, by a mile. So I haven't told him this, right? But other big news happening in our life is I think I'm going to give up coffee. And that is a really big deal for us because we are the kind of people that love coffee so much. You might have seen my videos about coffee. We love coffee so much that we actually make jokes about not having it in the morning. Every morning we have a little inside joke, me and Tim, and it goes something along the lines of, I might not have a coffee this morning because I'm detoxing. And the other person will be like, yeah, same. I just hate what it does to my stress levels. We actually make that joke. Yeah. That's how much we are never going to give up coffee. But today, I just haven't really had a stressful day. I've been juggling a little bit with Channel Mum. On that note, really, really cool thing. We just made a video for Channel Mum about, don't hate us, our Christmas tree. We built a Christmas tree and we speed decorated it, and we're kind of in this little speed decorating competition. So I'm going to put a little link down below and you can go and check out this really super cute, super funny video. So I was kind of juggling that. It told me it was going to take 15 hours to upload our little thing, and you know, just doing little bits. We had a farm meeting, and so it was kind of a day that had a bit of stress, but you know, also really super cool, sunny, fun day. And the whole time my anxiety levels were just like just kind of fizzing below the surface, and I have this deep down feeling that it is coffee. So I'm about to go out and break it to Tim that I think I'm actually going to give up coffee. All those jokes, it's become reality. I'm going to just give it up and see what it does to my kind of, you know that feeling when you're just sort of like having a normal day, but then you kind of like get a bit impatient, a bit snappy, and a bit like, yeah, it was kind of like that today. So big call. I'll keep you in the know. That. So check out Channel Mum Christmas. It's happening over there. Christmas, I know. We are trying to be a little bit organised about Christmas because it's easier to have a simple Christmas if you're organised, and we really do want to just keep it simple, keep it beautiful, and you know, not like mad consumption. I go on about that. Don't I go on about that? Sorry. I guess that's like my dream, is to be simple and stuff. So maybe that's why it keeps cropping up. Same old. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I've got moon circle tonight and I just ditched out on tea so that I could do this. I'm gonna get back to it, eat, light the fire for our moon circle, and you, if you want, are gonna give me a thumbs up, I guess. I'll be reporting back next time about the coffee because I know you're riveted. In the meantime, don't forget to share something going down with you at the moment, and definitely keep radical.